Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long off season. A long off season. But finally, football season is upon us. The Commanders are back. I'm actually watching the football game right now. Y'all know which one. Eagles versus Packers in Brazil. Um, we watched I wouldn't say a classic, but a good way to start the season, bro. It's Sporting Convos with Eddie and Mike. It's me, Mike, and I'm here with my guy.
This is Commander Eddie with my guy, Commander Mike. Welcome to Sporting Convos. You're welcome.
I'll only allow you to call me that on Eddie and Mike. You call me that anywhere else, we're gonna be moving some furniture.
Oh, okay.
But what's poppin', bro? How you doing? Are you ready for this season or what?
Oh, definitely. Kansas City Baltimore game definitely threw me for a loop. It looked like it was going to be one of those Kansas City march all over Baltimore. But at the same time, as much as Kansas City was dominating, they were only up by I think one whole touchdown early on. And then Isaiah Likely starts making all these plays. I have him on my bench because I thought Mark Andrews would be making some of those plays. He did not make. I think he had like one catch. But yeah, I mean, what an exciting game. Obviously, seems like they're going to use that Xavier Worthy kid a lot. Seems like Isaiah Pacheco is going to be in heavy use for Kansas City a lot. And yeah, I think Mahomes is right. I don't even think he was trolling. Next time wear white cleats. You know.
Right. But before we get to the game and talk about the rest of the game, um, two off the field situations we need to address. First of all, there was a school shooting already in Georgia. Um, I can't remember what the final total was of people that were injured, but I do know we lost four people, two students, two children. All four looked like they were cool people that had so much in front of them, even the teachers. Apparently, one of the teachers, she was celebrating her birthday with the students during the shooting. So that's extremely unfortunate. And you got to think about all the lives that's affected by this. Even those that aren't directly affected with family members and friends of the deceased. But um, yeah, like as a student, thinking like a first grader, they have to go to school every day for the rest of their lives with this moment in the back of their head. We referenced Inside Out a few times in this on this show, and that's a core memory for them now, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and it just sucks. And I know with you being a teacher, I hate that we keep talking about these shootings, but it does hit close to home for you because of your profession.
Yeah. Another staff member had kind of alerted me to it, and it's frustrating because of all the things you said, and then you think about just how easy it was for this person to access a weapon, and more so that this is nowhere near the first time this has happened, and it kind of is almost like Groundhog's Day, where like it keeps happening, but then like things don't get better. There's not a happy ending here. It just it keeps happening, and as you mentioned, it's not just those directly affected. I mean, obviously, condolences, thoughts and prayers, and all that. And I don't mean to say that like brushing it off, but anywho, it's not just about those people. All those kids and staff. I'm pretty sure they're off this week, but next week or whenever they feel like they're gonna have to eventually go back to school, go back to work, you know, and it's not going to be the same for everybody. And that definitely, I mean, you think about it, you're just going to do your job, or you're just going to school because your parents are making you, more than like, you know what I mean? And now you have this whole like added element that really shouldn't be there. I mean, life's hard enough, like, especially these days with school, with all this technology stuff and all these different portals and apps and things these kids got to do. And now we're adding in like, hey, keep your head on a swivel. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you're reporting everything. Like, it just sucks all around. Definitely, hearts go out to everyone involved. I believe the total was four dead, two staff, two teachers, and then I think there were like maybe eight or nine that had some sort of injury for one reason or another that was directly from the shooting, um, which I would take as like catching stray bullets or something like that, or like getting hit in the leg or somewhere non life threatening. But I don't think those specifics are out there. Uh, this happened Friday. I mean, excuse me, this happened, what was that, Thursday, right? Yeah, yesterday. Clearly, I'm exhausted from a long week.
Yeah, it was definitely an unfortunate situation, and of course, our thoughts and prayers, as much as they can help, they're still going out to the folks down there. And yeah, like the statistics on school shootings are crazy, especially the statistics after 1999.
Mm.
With those who would remember, I mean, for those who do remember, was the year of the Columbine shooting, and it rocked the country, like straight up, like that.
That's a big deal.
The fact that we're still referencing it 25 years later,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just goes to show you, like, there's been other shootings, unfortunately. Um, the one that kind of broke me the most was the Newtown shooting, because that was the one, I think, where it was a preschool, or if not a preschool, it was the youngest victims of the
But
and
San
school
Diego.
shootings. No, this is in Connecticut,
Oh, okay.
Newtown. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I remember getting home after work and just weeping after that one, because that one kind of, like, it broke me. Like, unfortunately, that's what made me numb to school shootings. Like, once you, like, until it hits you directly, you kind of just, it hurts. But like I said, you're numb to it all now, because unfortunately it's happening so much.
Well, yeah, and as you mentioned, I work at a school, and actually my job is security, so constantly trying to keep an eye out for things like that, and kind of identifying people that, um, I don't want to say fit a profile, but at the same time, you keep an eye on things like that if there are people having problems with each other, because a lot of times that's where these things start. And I don't mean to trail off, but the other aspect of it for me is I'm a father. I have two children. Oh well, excuse me, I have three children, and two go to school. Um, you know, they one's high school and the other's in elementary school, soon to be middle school. Like, yeah, I worry every day. And then the third one will be in school in a couple of years. Um, yeah, it sucks because, like, we're all worrying because it's, I'm at a school as well. So it could happen at my school, it could happen at either of their schools. And, we try to just be aware, but not let it affect us too much in our day to day life. Um, we put a lot of things in place, and hopefully those things will help to kind of deter, or at least minimize the severity of something like that could happen. But we've talked a little too much about this. I'm kind of rambling on, and I'm actually exhausted. I'm forgetting how many kids I have and what day of the week it is. So let's start talking some sports. I might make a little more sense talking about things.
Let's start talking sports. And sorry to switch topics so drastically, but yeah, it is exciting time with the football season coming, and
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just I feel like it's going to be a good year, another good NFL season, and yeah, we'll start with the Commanders, bro. Um, how can I say it? Everybody's been saying cautiously optimistic for years. I think a radio host even mentioned it again this week when he was talking about the vibe for the season. I'm not cautiously optimistic or anything because I just want this season to be over with as much people being as healthy as possible, um, as many wins as possible, I guess. But with Rivera winning the division in his first year, and RG3 winning the division in his first season, even with the injury, him and Kirk, um, the first year really doesn't mean much to me anymore because we all know what can happen after that. Nothing. Like nothing. I'd rather sacrifice this first season, bro, in order for some longer, sustainable success. And don't get me wrong, I feel like if the team does do well this season, that they won't get the big hit that the previous regime got after the 7-9 division win. By the
They
way,
set the world on
um,
fire, didn't they?
but nevertheless, like I'm excited from top to bottom, from the ownership to the long snapper, whose name I don't know, but that's a great thing. It's always good when you don't know your long snapper's name. I feel like maybe not for him if he wanted to be social media famous or whatever, but like the organization is heading in the right direction, and we'll delve deeper personnel wise. But how are you feeling about the organization, the team as a whole heading into the season before we break down
Well, I
some
think
player?
I think we're definitely we're headed in the right direction, but it's a little bit of a hiccup in the sense that we've been kind of, from the whole Rivera thing, we've slowly overhauled just the overall approach, the whole football aspect of things in terms of scouting players, bringing in the right guys, and we kind of started off on the right foot, and then somewhere along the lines it got lost. Now we've got another whole new regime coming in, and if you notice, they really didn't keep many guys. I mean, Sam Cosmi, I can't think of too many others. I mean, aside from high round draft picks, right? So there's that part of it. But I think there in some ways are kind of high expectations because maybe even the media in some weird way, like that would be a new topic. It would be us having success and it with Jaden Daniels and with the new coach and all that kind of stuff. That'd be a whole story. And we haven't been good in a while. So I think in a roundabout way, they're even kind of rooting for us. But I think it's also sort of this like, are they going to finally be good? Or is it going to be another like, hey, everybody got their hopes up. This guy was supposed to come in and, save everything and it didn't happen. I think that is very much, at least from just me sitting here on the couch and when I listen to the radio tune from work, that seems to kind of be the narrative because you have so many fans who, we've talked about it on various episodes of our show about the false hope and the, getting excited and then in the back of your mind, you kind of like, I really shouldn't be getting excited, but then you fall for it all over again, and just all those kind of things. So I think that's kind of where a lot of people are coming from. I think everybody else just thinks we suck and are like, all right, or maybe they won't suck because Quinn's had success everywhere he's gone. So I think that's what people are looking at in the way he's gonna, get more out of our defense and with Jamin Davis moving positions. And so I think there's a lot of that where maybe the NFL fan who's not a Washington fan might feel the way I said about the last couple of things, or because of the last couple of things.
Yeah, I do feel like that was almost a disaster. I almost spilled the whole cup of juice. But
Uh-oh.
but no, I've like it's hard for us or anybody else to like have a strong feeling one way or another on what's going to happen. But I do feel like we all sense that things are different, and that's probably the theme of the season for me is that things are just different,
Hmm.
and we could start from the most important position on the field, Jayden Daniels. Ooh, Hurts just threw a bomb to none other than AJ Brown for Eagles touchdown. They're now leading the Packers.
I'm watching it right now.
Huh?
I just
Yeah.
saw it.
Yes.
I think
They're
mine's
leading.
slightly behind yours.
All right, I got you. They're
Yeah, it's all
leading
good.
the Packers 23-19 now. First quarter, I mean, third quarter just started. So this looks like it's going to be a fast, fast action second half for the Eagles and Packers. But nevertheless, let's start with our commander in charge, Jaden Daniels. Um, what's your thoughts on them heading into the season, bro? And I would even take it. No, let's not do that. Let's stay in this season for Jaden Daniels.
I think just to kind of do what he's already been doing for us, at least the little sample we've gotten from preseason, get the ball out quick, make a decision and go with it. I mean, hey, look, every play is not going to be a wow play. He's got a lot of expectations. There's a lot of pressure. I get it. I do think, as I mentioned before, we're going to run the ball a lot, and I think he'll be included in that running. But I think he has to certainly be a lot smarter because even though the SEC is considered like a minor league NFL, NFL is still a totally different game than college. Whatever, like every fastest guy in the SEC, like the absolute fastest and toughest, is now in the NFL. Even in the SEC, I guarantee he played some games where there's some guys who weren't going to be just giving it, so to speak, the way they do in the NFL. And so I think that's going to be the difference is him adjusting to all of what I just said and knowing to not, you know, try to get that extra yard, slide, get out of bounds, get down. I think those things are going to be important. Um, but I kind of expect he seems like a confident, but like from a I work hard and I believe in myself and kind of maybe just a little splash of that Tebow kind of rah rah thing going. Apparently has a infectious personality, and so hopefully with all that going on, he's able to lead us to victory, come out and have a good showing. But I think we're running the ball. I think he'll throw like maybe like 15 times max. I really don't see him throwing too much. I mean, game script will obviously dictate some of that, but I think theoretically, yeah, they ain't gonna have him throw more than like 15 times.
Sorry, Green Bay was creep. Just tried the flea flicker,
Yeah.
and yeah, kind of caught me off guard. But no, I hear what you're saying, and that's when speaking about his health and his running. That's one thing I kept thinking about last night during the Ravens game. I saw Lamar Jackson running, taking all this hit, and I was like, if you think, if you're a Commander fan and you think that's how Jaden's going to scramble, you tripping like a clown with big shoes, bro. Like, it's not happening. He's not going to scramble like that. He
Yeah.
just fumbled, but I think they got it back. Um, he is going to think beginning Aaron Rodgers with the way he scrambled. That's
Sure.
what you're going to get out of Daniels. He's not lowering any shoulders or anything. He's going to scramble smartly. I feel like, um, but I don't think. Oh wow, I don't think. Yeah, that's a flag. I don't think there's been a quarterback since I've been watching this team that's been better prepared entering their rookie season. And that's saying a lot when you think about what RG3 did in 2012. But
Yep. Absolutely.
like, I really feel like he's going to have a better year than RG3 had in 2012. Now, will that equate to wins? Who knows? I don't know. Like I said in the beginning of my Commanders preview, don't really care about wins and losses this year.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not even saying we need to tank
Yeah.
for
Totally
anybody
agree.
or anything. I just don't care about the wins or losses because I'm so beyond year one of rebuilds, bro. And I know they said it's a recalibration and not a rebuild, but at the same time, it's still year one of a new regime, a new quarterback, new general manager, new ownership. Like everything is new.
Yep.
So I have no expectations because I don't know what anything. But as far as Daniels go, I think he'll be good. I think the running backs will be good. I'm expecting Brian Robinson to have a huge year, bro. Probably one of the best running back seasons since Alf Morris. I feel like, and I don't think there's anything anybody can do to convince me otherwise until he himself proves otherwise. But 1,300 rushing, 400 receiving.
Mm.
I don't
Some
see why
lofty
not.
numbers there.
When last year he had what, like 800 rushing and 500 receiving, I think, or something crazy like that. So why not? Like we all agree he should have ran the ball more. So why not? And then you got another back with Eckler in the
Then,
backfield.
yeah, definitely should run the
He
ball.
he he's not gonna surpass Robinson. He's gonna enhance Robinson because Robinson doesn't. He's not gonna need to carry the load running the ball because Eckler can do it. And when it comes to receiving the ball, we know Eckler's better, but it's not like Robinson can't do it. So I think he'll have his opportunities. I feel like a 1,700-yard season for him is very possible. Very possible. What you think about the running backs, bro?
I mean, I love it because everything you just mentioned, you got Eckler who can go between the tackles, but is a little bit more of an outside guy. And then you got Brian Robinson, who's maybe a little bit more between the tackles, but can go outside. And as you mentioned, the same with the receiving. So I really do feel like that's going to kind of be a 1-2 punch. And actually, Eckler, I've specifically heard him. I think this was on the Grant and Danny show, if I'm not mistaken, where he had mentioned like, "Hey, look, you know, Eckler is known for being like weight room, whatever. Like I don't want to say a bro. That kind of sounds like I'm dissing him, but like the same way there's a gym rat for like guys who hoop. They stay in the gym shooting. Shooting buckets, like whatever, playing basketball, and this guy's like that, but with lifting weights. And even still, he's like, I'm not a 20-30 carry guy. He's like, I'm splitting the load. He's like, that's just not me. So I think um, having that sort of mentality going in is really going to be beneficial because we really need both of them, right? It's not that the league really isn't like that. Like the Derrick Henrys and the guys who are just giants and can last a whole season without giving up a lot of carries. Like that just really doesn't exist anymore. Today's NFL, really need two good backs. You look at most teams that are doing well, they've got two good backs. And if they don't, then they have other ways of supplementing.
The biggest storyline on offense behind the offensive line so far this off season has been the wide receiver room. We traded my guy. He out of here. Touchdown Green Bay. Um, Watson, give it up for him. He
Randy?
yeah, they
What?
traded they traded my man Dotson. You can give it up for him too. Who's playing tonight? I haven't seen him at all, bro. Like I'm keeping it a buck. I haven't seen him at all. But you trade him away, and now you really only have McLaurin as the most proven receiver in the room, because Miami obviously isn't proven. McCaffrey, Luke obviously isn't proven. He hasn't played a game yet. Zacchaeus, who's he? Like we cut Pringle earlier today. I don't know if you heard.
I did heard.
And Jamison Crowder, like he had it. His peak was nice, but it's 2024, bro. That was 7 years ago. Um, but I will say though, the Luke McCaffrey chatter is getting louder, and that's partly because he's listed as the second wide receiver behind McLaurin on the depth chart. And remember, Diami was listed as the second wide receiver, but now it's McCaffrey, and there have been Puka Nakua comparisons um, to McCaffrey, where a lot of people think he could be that sleeper wide receiver this year. And I personally don't like that take. I feel like it's lazy. Like you just compare a low drafted wide receiver to another low drafted wide receiver. But I then contradicted myself and was like, this does feel a bit Terry McLaurenish. Because remember, his rookie year, we ain't see him at all until week one, where out of nowhere, this man catching two 50-plus yard touchdowns on the Eagles. And it's like, wow, who knew? So, um, I like McLaurin. I feel like the McLaurin Daniels combo is going to feed families. But outside of that, it's a bro.
So, as I said earlier and on other shows, I think we're going to be running most of the time. So I don't want to say it doesn't matter who's the number two wide receiver, because certainly need somebody good in case we do have to throw the ball more than as planned, if we're playing from behind or something like that. Um, but hey, that this could be one of those things where McCaffrey has worked hard and shown out at camp. And so they're rewarding his hard work and everything by giving him that number two spot, which essentially it's he earned. They're not giving it to him, but then it could equally be for the Noah Browns, the Dayami Browns, unrelated, at least as of right now, until further research proves different. Um, for those guys, Zacchaeus as well, it could be one of those things like, a little bit of a wake up call, a little bit of a, light a fire under their rear end. So we'll see. Could just be
Who
on paper too.
who the heck is Todd Blackledge? Like I
Uh,
feel like I've known every common color commentator that's played before, and this dude, because even when Noah Eagle, they're doing the play-by-play for the game right now. When he said Todd, I was like, "Who the heck is Todd?"
Todd,
And
Todd,
now I see him, I
Todd.
see him and his last name, and I'm like, "Who is he?" I feel like I should know who that is. I have to Google him later, but you don't have to Google Zach Ertz. Um, I feel like the tight end position is a sleeping giant, bro. Um, from top to bottom, um, Ertz, Senate, don't call me Sanat. Um, Bates, I'm always high on him. I feel like he's the perfect third tight end. You win a blocking tight end, but he could also do damage with his hands too. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like that's the truth from that line. He can catch the ball. He does drop it sometimes, but he has the capability of killing you in the receiving game. Not destroying you like Zach Ertz, but killing you. But yank off, bro. I didn't know this was his first year at at tight end, bro. I thought he was a tight end at UCLA, but this man was a running back, and he was playing special teams. He's like the perfect fourth tight end. So I'm high on the tight ends right now. But Senate, the man himself said it. Remember, I told y'all after the draft, right, that I was like, I see nothing but a young Chris Cooley or a more athletic Chris Cooley. And I don't think nobody disagreed with me or whatever. But a couple of weeks ago, Cooley was on Kevin Sheehan, and they both agreed that he played like Chris Cooley. And I'm like, to me, how can you be a Redskins fan, Commanders fan around my age, and see Senate highlights and not think he looks like Chris Cooley? So you
Oh,
got
you were
a
screaming, I
potential,
said that.
huh?
I said you were over there screaming, I said that. I said he's like Chris Cool. And as far as the
Not
Yankoff
quite.
guy, that sounds like some pro wrestler stuff.
Or remember Crank Yankers?
Isaac Yankum, DDS.
Remember Crank Yankums? I
Yep.
mean Crank Yankers.
Yep. I do
I,
remember.
I I thought you was about to go there. That's the first time I heard somebody was like, "Yeah, can I speak to Jack? Last name me off." And the person was like, "Jack me off, Jack me off." That
Yep.
shit was hilarious. But forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, the tight ends are. I feel like, and everybody mentioned that how Kingsbury loves to use the tight ends. So like they're going to be productive this year, 1 through 4. I feel like we're going to hear from them throughout the season, 1 through 4. And I think Cole Turner's on the practice squad, right?
Yes.
So if we do lose one of the 4, he's going to fill right in
Yep. Yeah,
off
it's
the practice squad.
like that.
So yeah, uh, if it's one position on the team that I'm not worried about this year, well, actually 3 positions. I'm not worried about quarterback. I'm not worried about running back, and I'm most definitely not worried about tight end.
Hmm.
But if it's one position, bro, that concerns me offensively. And thanks for rocking with us, y'all, on Sporting Convos with Eddie and Mike. This is going to be a long episode, so get your lunch ready. But the offensive line is easily the most concerning position group for me. We're about to start a left tackle. Matter of fact, we're not even starting a left tackle that never played football before. We're playing 2 people at left tackle on Sunday, bro. Quinn himself said that Lucas and Coleman are going to rotate. The
Mm.
meddling veteran and a rookie rotating in the rain, by the way, against a defense that loves to blitz. Um,
Never been,
outside of that,
but
the rest of the offensive line, it's not like they are monsters outside of Sam Cosmi, who just got a 4-year extension. I think 34 million guaranteed. So kudos to him. But yeah, like I don't trust Wiley. Um, be honest, if he was that good, don't you think Dallas would have tried to keep him? Um, and don't even get me started on what's his name, um, Nick Sirianni. Or, no, that's the Eagles coach.
Cosby.
The Nah, not Cosme. The Bama that came from the Chiefs. Damn. Um, Ida Gretty, Alan Gretty. I think that's his name. Um, I mean, yeah, he cooked in the Super Bowl, but that was one game.
Yeah,
Before that, he wasn't really cooking like that. So there's questions all up and down this offensive line. And I feel like next season, spoiler alert, they're going first round offensive line. I don't
it's like
like
almost given.
unless Travis Hunter is available to them, I can't see them passing up on the offensive line again in the first round this season. Um, ooh, nice hit. How do you feel about the offensive line heading into the season before we switch over to the defensive side of the ball?
I think we've definitely made sound improvements. Obviously bringing in a Biotish. Apparently, if this kid from TCU, is it Coleman? I think. Apparently, if he can get healthy, there's a good chance he could be pretty legit. The way people are talking, they're saying this is like, it's maybe like a medium to somewhat big size if, but saying if that if happens, then yeah, he might be something special, which that's pretty cool. As a whole, just as I mentioned, we're doing a whole overhaul, and I think O line is slowly being addressed. As we recalibrate, I think the way they did things is trying to set up for maybe potential free agents who might become available this upcoming season, that are O linemen, and we're trying to save money, because you do raise a good point. Maybe Biotish went to us because we were maybe willing to pay a little bit more, but then also maybe Dallas wasn't willing to pay a little bit more because they know something we don't. So I think it's the history and then just the mismanagement that's kind of led us to be in not such a great situation, is what kind of makes this such a like, uh what would the word be? It's like it's almost like we dread talking about it. It's been so bad. Um so yeah, I think we have the potential to kind of like surprise people, like catch them off guard, have a couple of guys maybe actually do really well. Again, for the trillionth time, we're going to be running the ball a lot. Sometimes good way to hide a bad O line is just to run a lot. I'm not saying that if you're, an O lineman that you're basically, whether you're good or not, it has more to do with pass protection than run protection. Not necessarily, but what I'm saying is running the ball and keeping the defense honest, whether it's play action or, using a formation that you primarily run out of, and then you catch them slipping with a throw, even if it's not play action. I think those things all are predicated off of having a strong run game. So again, I think we're going to be running the ball a lot, just kind of letting these guys get loose and, just knock some people around.
Get loose. Um, Gun to your head,
Oh boy.
where do you think we finish offensively and total yards per game? Do you
Oh,
think we finish the over under? I'll give you 16 and a half.
I think we'd go over 16 and a half points.
No, I mean like that's the ranking and total yards per game. Do you think we're gonna? I guess do you think we're gonna be top of the half or bottom of the half in yards per game? Remember last year we finished. Were we
I
32nd? Nah,
I
we were
think we
32nd
might
on
be better,
defense.
but I don't know about top of the half, honestly. I think it might be one of those things where we're just in the bottom of the half. Like if we were in top half, I think we would be at the bottom of the top half. So I think it's like one of those kind of things where we're going to be better, but I still would kind of expect us to be in that bottom half. Not for
On your
our
the
players
ceiling is
are
the
trash
roof.
or that, but young quarterback, new system, guys who haven't really played together. So we'll see.
Okay, so we finished 24th last year. Do you think we're gonna be above that or below that? I think we finished in the top 20.
Yeah, I think we'll do better.
I don't think we get to 16, but I say 17 feels about right.
Yep.
17, 19, I feel like that. Defensively though, bro, I'm with it. Last year we finished 32nd. This year, I think we finished in the top 16, and I'm gonna tell you why. For starters, the coaching. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt, Ken Norton Jr., Daryl Top. Who else? You even got what's his name? Is it the Steelers? Ike Taylor, I think, is coaching on this team. I think he's the assistant defensive backs coach. It's a who's who on the coaching staff. Ryan Kerrigan,
Yep.
assistant defensive line coach. Um, like you really have a who's who on the coaching staff compared to last year when you had a former high school coach um, coaching your secondary, and the high school was trash. Del Rio clearly lost his sense of the game, I feel like. And now I just feel like the coaching is so much better. And that's where players like Allen, Payne, Louvu, Wagner,
Hmm.
Chen, Martin, I think even Jamin Davis is going to have a better season. But I can't lie, bro. I'm concerned about that cornerback side, man. Forbes and St. Juice, they're the weak links. They're the offensive line of the defense. And they concern me. So, what are your thoughts on the defense as a whole? We could break them down unit by unit, but I like them together as a whole. What you feeling?
Well, I think they're definitely trying to establish that, hey, compete and earn your job kind of culture. Kind of like what I was saying in regards to the Luke McCaffrey thing. I think you're going to see a lot of like blitzing and rotating of guys as far as the D line and some of the linebackers. Not just as like a strategy or anything like that, but well, yeah, as a strategy, but to mask the secondary, I think is what you're going to see. And I think you're going to see the secondary might make some plays, but it would be predicated on the pass rush and the big guys up front. And I think that's where they have the potential to actually do exactly that. I mean, you look at just Allen and Payne alone, but then you bring over Armstrong. You got Fowler Jr. They got some guys to rotate, and on top of building that defense, because we know next season O line, linebacker, DB, probably almost in that order, maybe DB before linebacker. I don't know, but that's coming. But you also know that there's a chance for I don't even know where I was going, man. I'm exhausted. Sorry.
Nah, you're good, bro. And I mean, like, I'm happy because it's been a while since I feel like we had a defense that I could like enjoy watching play and not be concerned if they're going to get cooked on this play or whatever. But I feel like the middle is going to lead us to some good defensive play when you're talking about Allen, Payne, Wagner, and Quan Martin. Um, it, I think the defense could be special, bro. Could be special. Will they? We're gonna have to wait and see. But one of my favorite tidbits about this offseason is when somebody was like, "Yeah, Bobby Wagner is only a year older than London Fletcher when he came to DC." Really, really?
Oh
Because we
yeah.
know London Fletcher had about a good 4 year run with us, maybe five even. Did he come in '08? I think he did come in '08. So yeah, maybe he had like a good 5 year run with us. So we can get Bobby Wagner in 4 years. I mean, for 4 seasons with this coaching staff, I like it. But he's on a 1 year deal, so he might not even want to come back. He might want to go somewhere else. But I feel like if all goes well, he might want to sign a 2 year deal here next off season. But I'm really excited. And Luvu and Chen, it's ironic that both of them came from Carolina, but I like the way they play, and I just can't wait for Sunday, bro, to see this defense on the field, and they're getting tested quickly too. But sorry about that, lost a little signal, but I'm back, which is crazy because like I said last show, my hotspot is right here,
Mhm.
and I'm on giga speed internet. I should not be buffering right now. Granted, there's a lot of stuff streaming right now, but giga speed internet, like I said. Um, we could talk about special teams. There really ain't much we gotta say about the punter. You know he gonna cook. Um, I cannot. I wasn't joking when I started the show off. I really don't know the long snapper's name, and this, like I said, it's a great thing because if you don't know who he is, it means that he's not doing a bad job or whatever. I feel like
Yep.
long snapper is. Oh yeah, I remember him. Tyler Ott, OTT. So kicker, and that's the position that concerns us the most. Special teams, I feel like, because K York, he just got here, like he just got to DC via the trade. So yeah, we're going to see what's up. But how do you think that? How do you think the team is going to? Did you fall asleep, bro?
Nope. I'm
Oh,
gonna wake the
but
whole.
no, whatever. Um, like, give the. I feel like 7-10 is a good record for this team this season. That's 3 games better than last year, and yeah, I feel like that's a vibe. What's your prediction?
Uh, I'll go 8 and 9. Just go one more ahead of you. But yeah, you don't want to get carried away with these predictions and aspirations. I think we're trying to, kind of come across like from a humble, objective standpoint, but obviously root for our team still as well, which is not always easy to do. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm hopeful that we can maybe like steal one or two, and then you referenced the 7 and 9 season. A lot of that happened because of injuries, which you never know, that might work in our favor that way too. Where some of these games where we're supposed to face like a buzz saw of a team, but injuries happen and they're less of a buzz saw.
Oh, I was on mute. So give me your NFC East winner, Super Bowl matchup, and the champion.
NFC East winner.
Because that's the last division to predict. Oh, did this bum just throw an interception? Oh.
Looks like it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go San Francisco. They still got all the same players. They still got a good team. Before we started the show, you were talking all about how Jalen Hurts ain't it. He's selling.
Did you pick the East winner?
Oh, you said the NFC East. I thought you meant the whole NFC.
No, I
NFC
said
East.
the NFC East winner, and then the Super Bowl matchup.
NFC East. It's probably going to be the Eagles Super Bowl matchup. Honestly, it'll probably be Niners and Chiefs again.
I feel differently a bit. I do. I think the Cowboys gonna win the East, and this gonna shock you, bro. I think they might mess around and make it to the Super Bowl, man.
I knew you were going to say that.
Uh, where they lose to the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs going back to back to back, like Lethal Weapon plus a third person. But yeah, based on what I saw yesterday, because we could talk about that game a little bit before we pick the rest of the games, and then we out of here, bro. But yeah, yesterday I feel like the Chiefs ain't even played that good of a game, or the Ravens. Neither one of them played their best, and they
No,
still almost beat each other. Pause. Um, yeah, like you were saying earlier, Isaiah Likely was literally inches away from scoring a touchdown, and I feel like if Baltimore did go for two, which they were looking like they were about to do, oh wow, I feel like they would have got it and won the game. But I feel like neither team should be ashamed of their performance. But I do think Kansas City's might be too powerful for people this year. Um, Rice did his thing. Xavier Worthy, like you said earlier, he was just amazing last night. Kelsey ain't even get off like that for real.
no,
And
that
Pacheco,
Noah Gray guy. They were giving it to other tight ends.
is that another touchdown for Barkley? Oh no. Um, yeah, like he didn't do much, and they
Yeah,
still put up 24 points, or was it 26 points? I forgot. They still put up a good amount of points on a good Ravens defense, who did lose Patrick Queen, but Roquan Smith was still killing last night. And
well,
yeah,
he
that
was getting killed
defense,
a little bit too.
huh?
You said he was killing, but I said he was getting killed a little bit too.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, like having to check Rasheed Rice as a middle linebacker, it ain't going to be easy, but not many teams have Rasheed Rice. So yeah, I think they'll. I think the Chiefs are in good hands. I mean, not in good hands, in a good position to be the first NFL team ever to win three straight. But it wouldn't surprise me if they don't, because no other team has won three straight. And yeah, that's it for our preview. And now it's just time for us to pick these games, bro. Um, I'm sure both of us would have picked the Chiefs yesterday. Maybe I could have picked the Ravens, but I feel confident saying both of us would have picked the Chiefs, like both of us would have picked the Eagles tonight. I feel like, and
Yeah,
so far they're holding up there, sir. But let's go ahead and move to Sunday, September 8th. Um, kind of a throwback game to me for some reason. Steelers versus Falcons. And we ain't gotta break them down too much because it's week one, bro. We don't know what's gonna happen.
I suppose. Uh, I think Steelers pull it off in a nail biter. I think there's all this excitement with Kirk Cousins there, and I think everybody just assumes that you know he's going to go there, and Kyle Pitts is going to become the tight end people thought he would be, which he's got a hamstring injury, by the way. Um, yeah, I think it's just going to be tough, and I think the Kirk being new, and then that whole maybe potential lack of chemistry is not going to do well against the defense that does. I mean, you think about it. You mentioned Patrick Queen. He's on that Pittsburgh defense now. You got Cam Hayward. You got T.J. Watt. You got Minka Fitzpatrick. They got a pretty solid defense. So that I think that will carry them in this game. But I do hope Bijan
Um,
goes off.
um, I'll take the Steelers as well for some of the reasons you said, but mainly just continuity, I guess. And like you said, um they don't have the continuity that I mean the Kirk, I don't remember him practicing like that this year. So I'm like, I don't know, bro. Um, I'll pick the second game. Cardinals at Bills. Give me the Bills. You know how it is with West Coast teams traveling east. Plus, I just think Buffalo's the better team. I don't think that means the Cardinals are going to have the second or third worst record again this season. Just think Buffalo's better than them, and it's a Western team traveling east to play.
Yeah,
So give me Buffalo.
I'll take Buffalo mostly being the better team, but you do make a good point with the whole time zone change thing. So yeah, Buffalo, City of Wings.
Some of these games we ain't even gotta go too deep into. I'll just ask you. Um, Unfortunately, these aren't one of those games. Give me the Bears and Titans at Chicago. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Bears. There's all this excitement surrounding them. Why not?
And that's why I wanted to talk about this game because I think the fix is in. Well, not the fix is in, but I just think like things are going too well for Chicago, and they might start off flat low key. And the Titans, it's not like they have super trash on offense. They got Calvin Ridley, they got Spears, they got Pollard. Will Levis isn't the bum that everybody thinks or thought he would be. Um, so yeah, I I like Tennessee to pull the upset, I guess. Um, Bengals Patriots. I'm pretty sure you're going with the Bengals on that one. Um, Texans and Colts. I'm pretty sure you're going with the Texans on that one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Uh, Jaguars and Dolphins. It should be a good game, but Miami, they just too fast for everybody, it feels like.
Yep.
Um, Panthers and Saints. Saints will be better, but I could easily see them having a top five pick again this season. So give me the Saints.
Yeah.
You feeling okay? Um, I did want to mention something about this game, Vikings at Giants. People just been dogging the Giants all off season. Now you got a Vikings linebacker basically saying that they're going to have a monster game against the Giants.
Mm.
I wish I could remember the exact quote in the linebacker's name, but um, they talking big trash about the Giants, man, and until the Giants back it up, I
Yeah.
don't think I can pick them. Matter of fact, on Commanders Declassified, I even said that Washington was going to hang 30 up on them next week. So I'm definitely a part of the disrespect. Do you feel otherwise? Do you think the Giants are going to beat the Vikings? you sleeping on them. So I guess I'm gonna take that as a yes. I mean, not a yes, but you got the Giants. But yeah, it was Ivan Pace of the Vikings who said, "We about to go crazy, man. It ain't even going to be a matchup. I mean, it ain't even going to be no matchup." And that's when he was asked about the Giants' offense. So if the Giants hang like 30 on the Vikings,
Yeah,
dude is getting cooked.
Dabo is he coached under Belichick for a while, so he's gonna be trying to kind of
Mm.
pull those strings or push those buttons. Motivation. Not to mention, like you said, they Giants have kind of been, I guess more so like their front office and like the ineptitude and stuff like that. When you look at Hard Knocks and so plus Dabo, he the team might not be good, but they play tough. So, but I think Kevin O'Connell's a good coach too. So, we shall see who's going to
Yeah, that's
have more fired up
fun.
to go.
That game should be crazy for real. Um, Chargers and Raiders at LA. I don't think it matter. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah,
Um,
going to see this new run heavy style LA offense while we wait for Justin Herbert to get better.
you know what's funny? I think Denver is the closest team to Seattle. So this always felt like a geographical rivalry game
Mhm.
between the Broncos and Seahawks. But with it being in Seattle, give me the Seahawks, please, to easily get the W. Throw them in Bo Nix. I think Seattle got them. Um,
Yeah.
you know how I feel about the Cowboys this season, so I doubt they lose week 1 to a good Cleveland team, nonetheless.
No, they
But I know they're on the road too. But I just feel like Dallas might go on one last run before everything gets blown to smithereens.
nope. There will be no runs, no last run, no last dance, none of that.
Mm.
Deshaun
So you got
Watson's
them losing.
died recently, so he's going to be playing with a heavy heart. Amari Cooper is going to light it up. Going to do well for my fantasy team. Miles Garrett is also going to light it up. Yeah, you watch.
All
Cleveland's going to
right,
come there and smack him around.
I'm gonna say that game for last. We move to Sunday night football. Um, Give me the Lions to start the season on a good note against the Rams.
Yeah, Jared
Um,
Goff get a little revenge against McVay. I definitely can see that. I think they're winning their division outright. I don't think there's any scenario where they don't win that division.
the Lions.
Yeah, they're playing most of their
Okay.
games indoors.
Yeah, I
Not just
saw that.
like you factor in the Vikings also have indoors, so they're yeah.
I think the Jets are running into a buzzsaw in Santa Clara on Monday night. Um, I think the 49ers got them. I can't even start Aaron Rodgers in my dynasty league this week because I just can't against the 49ers, man. Like, it's crazy. And then what's even crazier is the dude that took Rodgers out. He missed it. Ugh. The dude that took Rodgers out last year um, is playing for the 49ers now. So this will be the second straight year he's going against Rodgers on Monday night. And the irony
That
on
guy's
if
blocked.
he missed the mess out of that joint. The irony if he takes Rodgers out again would be crazy. But yeah,
Well,
give me
I
San
have a
Fran.
feeling, Mike, that guy that they're gonna know where he is at all times. Like, hey, I'm gonna make sure this guy's blocked. Don't want lightning striking twice there.
Be funny if the 49ers signed him just to like as soon as they knew they were playing the Jets week 1, they were like, "Hey, don't y'all remember that dude from last year?"
Could be. playing some
Is he
psychological
available? You do
warfare.
need a defensive end too. Oh yeah, I think Philly about to run away with this joint, bro.
Is that Saquon? Dang.
Yeah, I mean, as good as it is for my fantasy, I'm not the
Yeah.
happiest with that.
That's all
But
right.
last game, and we're gonna get out of here so I can get my brother to bed.
Yeah, bro. I'm just whew, struggling to get
Of
across that
course,
line.
it's our game. Commanders traveling to Raymond James Stadium and that big pirate ship to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, at game time, it will be a 20% chance of rain. Um, Not as great as a chance as I thought it would be, but it could. I would just say prepare for rain the entire game if you're going to the game or if you have any fantasy players in there. And like I said on Commanders Declassified, that those for those that watch it, with it being a sloppy game, with the Buccaneers being the team that blitzes the way they blitz, Washington having a rookie quarterback with a suspect O line, I think Tampa going to cover the spread and get us up out of there 17-21. And that's me keeping it a buck with y'all. We start off 0-1 for the first time since 2021, I believe. So there it is.
No, I think there definitely will be some points. I think with the weather, that might in a roundabout way help what I'm about to or go kind of against or help Washington with my concern. And that's it's not just Mike Evans. I mean, he gets talked about a lot and he's got size advantage. I don't know who's going to cover him, but he'll get a lot of attention. Chris Godwin on the other side is also pretty nice. So stopping the both of them, should there be rain, I do think that actually might help Washington. But you know, Tampa Bay gives as good as their defense is, and they they make some plays here and there. They give up a lot of chunks on defense. Like you can drive on them. You just got to make sure you're disciplined and be prepared to adjust with the blitz coming because they do blitz a lot. But I think we'll catch them, and I think it'll actually be us with the win, 27-17.
Oh, a double digit one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. It should be interesting. Alabama's next week. We're going to talk about that game, preview the Giants game, talk about the rest of the NFL season, and whatever else comes up that's worthy of being talked about. We were going to talk about the exec that got fired, but he's a loser. That's all you really need to know about that bum. I don't even know his name for real. But we are out of here. Thank y'all for vibing out, listening to us, and we're gonna holler at y'all Bamas next week. Peace. Peace sleep.
Sorry, man. Have a good night, everybody.